Hello and welcome to test case writing practical tutorial. Today I will demonstrate that how we can write a test case based on the requirement. So first of all, we will discuss that what is typical test case format is. So if we are writing test case, it should be in table format, and this table contains test case ID, which should be unique identifier number, and the test case description, and the preconditions, and test steps, and the test data involved, and the expected results. So let's proceed with the practical scenario that we need to review the project software requirement specification document first, and then we need to create a login test case. So let me show you how this requirement specification document looks like. So here I already have this login logout feature in which the requirement is like that. By default, the base URL of the application should take the user to this page, and the user can only enter the application by successfully login by using his unique identifier, that is correct username along with correct password, and after clicking login button. So this is the requirement that user can only be able to log in the application with valid user ID and password. Last time we have discussed that how user can write multiple scenarios against a login scenario. So the functionality is user is able to log in the application with valid user ID and password. So this is the positive scenario that to verify user is able to log in with valid user ID and password. Second is a negative scenario to verify user should not log in with invalid user ID and valid password. This is one combination. The to verify user should not log in with valid user ID and invalid password. User should not be able to log in with invalid user ID and invalid password. So there are four scenarios against which we can write test cases. So let's proceed with test case one, which I already have uh, covered in my last demonstration, that how we can write test case. So let's write the same test case again in the new Excel file in which I have covered uh, multiple scenarios against a single functionality. We can call it requirement traceability as well. That's against a single requirement. How many test cases we have covered. So first test case is about valid user ID and valid password, right? So test case ID is TC underscore 001. Uh, tester's name is we can decide it later. Precondition is user exists in the system. Test case description we can copy paste from here. User is able to log in with valid user ID and valid password. Okay. And test case status, after execution we can write a status here, post conditions, and the application is Guru 99 bank bank application module is login. Test case type is UI, right? And we can copy paste the steps from the existing test case which we have right so far. That is test case ID is TC01. User is logging in the system with the credentials, navigate to the URL and the test data. So I am copying all these four steps in my login scenario here. Okay. Uh, test case number is TC underscore 001. Test case description, user login in the application with valid user ID and password, and test steps. So these are the test steps. Navigate to the URL. So URL is uh, demo.guru99.com, and here we will use this agile project. Its user ID is 1303 and password is guru99. So we will be using this URL for our testing. Navigate to this URL. Okay, enter. Okay, I have to copy, enter password. So this is enter valid user ID. Let's check here that what is our user ID. So this is the field name. I need to copy this one, enter valid user ID. So valid user ID of this application is uh, 1303. So I need to copy this 1303 in my test case 1303, and the valid password is Guru99. I can use this formatter. Okay, click submit button. So after click submit button, what will happen? User should be able to log in and navigate to home page. So I am copying paste this one here. Okay, so we have completed our first test case. Okay, and now what we can do, we already is in this URL, right, of the application. Now we are executing. So I am writing uh, tester's name, mn tester. I am writing my name, and now I am executing the test case, right? So I have to enter user ID 1303 and Guru 99 as password and click login button. So I am performing all the steps. So now I am logging in the application at home page. So this means that I have executed this test case. So test case status is pass. Post conditions, user is able to see home page, right? Okay, and rest is fine. So now we have done with our first test case. Expected result. Okay, I have to write this in the expected result. User should be able to log in and navigate to the URL. User is able to navigate to login page. Okay, and the actual result is as expected, and as expected first test is result is pass, and this status is pass, and overall the test case status is pass. If any of the this step is failed, then the overall test case status will be fail, right? So now we can create three more test cases from here as well. I have just covered this first test case. Now, if I need to write invalid user ID and valid password, I need to create, or I can create copy of this. Uh, okay, move or copy. Login scenarios. Yes, I need to copy this. Move to end. Create a copy. Actually, I forgot to select this create a copy uh, and move to the end. So this time we are using valid user ID, invalid user ID, and valid password, right? So here I need to make changes. Test case number 2. I haven't executed it yet. User is able to log in with valid. So I need to copy this line. User is should not log in with invalid user ID and valid password. User should not see home page. Post condition, the user is able to see error in home page, right? Okay. So user, I need to copy this test description in test case 2, and similarly the test case name is test case 2. Enter invalid user ID. Okay. So invalid user ID can be uh, a test, right? And password should be fine. A user should not be login and see error page. Okay. Okay, our test case 2 is ready for execution. So let's proceed with test case execution, and let me log out from this application. And now I am providing invalid user ID, that is test, and valid password guru 99. So you see error message user or password is not valid. So this is expected result. So we need to mark it tester name MN tester. Test case status is first of all user is able to log into this, navigate to this page, but and user should not be login and see error message. So this is also pass. So the overall test result is pass. Okay. So we have done with the second test case. Now we need to create one more test case. So we can create a copy and move to the end. So this time we have valid user ID but invalid password. So let me copy the scenario. User should not be able with valid user ID but invalid password. Okay, user should not log in with valid user ID and password. I haven't executed it yet. Test case ID is 3. This time I won't execute this test case, only I will try to cover test case writing. User should not log in with valid user ID and invalid password. Okay, and navigate to this URL. User is navigate to this URL. Okay, and enter invalid. This time we are adding valid user ID. So valid user ID is I believe 1303, and invalid password is test and see error message. Okay, test case 3. Let me edit. User should not log in with valid user ID and invalid password. Okay. So last but not least, we need to cover one more test case. Uh, let's create a copy of this. Move to the end, create a copy. So this time we have invalid user ID, invalid user ID and invalid password. Okay. So this is our test case number 4. User should not able to log in with invalid user ID and invalid password, and user exists in the system. Test case 4. User should not log in with invalid user ID and invalid password. Navigate to this URL. So this time we are providing invalid user ID and invalid password. Okay, so we have covered our all test cases, right, in a single test case file which is called login scenarios. We can also write the same test cases in test case management tool. There are multiple tools available. Uh, there are 17 best test management tool like PractiTest, TestRail. TestRail is a very popular tool available for this. X-Ray is also very popular tool. Testmo, Spiratest, and Zfire Test Monitor. So there are a couple of test management tools available. But today I would like to demonstrate with case. In case we have a free demo account. So let me show you that how it works. So here is the case demo project uh, first page, in which I am creating a test case. User is able to log in with valid credentials. I am writing description. User is able to log in with valid credentials. Suite name is authorization. Severity is normal. Priority is high. Type is functional. We can select functional. Layer is not set. Is flaky? No. Milestone not set. Behavior is positive, and this is a manual test. We have two categories, manual and automated. So we are setting manual test. We can write uh, pre-condition, post-condition, and also we can add test steps from here. Like I can copy paste my test steps from the test which I have uh, just right. So navigate to the URL. So I have provided this. Navigate to the URL. Data is here. We can provide data here, and expected result is user is able to log into the page, right? So this is the test steps which we have provided, right? If I will click on save, so this is user is able to log in with valid credentials. This test case is created with one step, but I can add multiple steps, just like the demo test case available in this application. Authorization, description, registered users can log in the application using email and password, and here are the steps. Go to sign up page, fill in the form with login ID and password, check remember me checkbox, click login button. Okay, so this is the tool in how we can write our test case in it, right? So if you are interested to learn any other tool, just post your comment. I'll try to create another video on it. So thank you for watching.